7:30, and then another bell at 8, which is our breakfast bell. But chit-chat, and take care of yourself, and then we'll come back.
Or practicing cooperating.
And also practicing, what was that I said? We have to practice. It's that pulling away, like I'm in this, but I'm also, I can leave that practice.
So a creative retreat is also what we called it. So that we're coming with, from our own practices, and we're working with offering some of our articulation of our own practices, in order to give to the students some kind of foundation to add to what they might be already developing.
Choreographic practice, and I think that it sounds like we're also really interested in continuing our own practice. It's not because we haven't taught together before, so I feel like we're meeting at a place where I'm engaging with what you're saying, both as a student but as a collaborator, and just trying to see what's the relative information between us.
Like we sit in chairs and we learn about the body and we look at pictures, but Bonnie took it into a place of like, well, what is it to move as we're studying the liver? Like, how do we move like the liver? Or like, how do we enter into like osteoarthritis? What is it to have that and understand it through going into the part of that body that might be wanting to say something? Right, and oftentimes, in my experience, the things that I find in terms of holdings or injuries are actually things that are looking for expression. And that's a true relationship for me between going into the research of the body as a tuning to understand how I can move more efficiently, how I can find ways to look for qualities of motion. But it's also my body is my source for my creativity.
Well, transitions, but on a cellular level, just as well as gaps, maybe between a beginning, middle, and end of an action. Perhaps how we bring forward the kinds of levels of information, how we track what's going on. So not only do we have the innate, the feeling of it, but then it's the feeling and the little, like, oh, what are my fingers doing? The little list. The elements of theater are time, energy, and risk. And that I translate the time, passage, time-based form that we're working in, phrasing. Well, I've been coming here since I was 6, so I skipped here. And skipped and ran and up and down the path and rode horses. And my mother was the nurse. This is a place called Bearnstow. My mother was the nurse here. I came with my brother and my sister from age 6. I became a counselor. So most of my life, every summer, I've come here. Caroline and I just... good friend just said, like, well, we should do something, and we were going to teach a workshop so that then we could stay here. And we just did a week long. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's good. You kind of breathe in, or breathe in. I'm breathing my breath into her nose. Wow. It was only just 1 week for the summer. And then we did all of the arts and cooked, and it was way too much. It was exhausting.
And I started coming here, I believe it's the summer of 2001. I was co-teaching a workshop with Shelley Center and looking at improvisational practices in relationship to Alexander technique. And I think, too, I just want to say that the work that I do is drawing from a lot of practices, including body-mind centering. And I'm starting to realize that I'm such a... And I think that's probably true for your work, too, like how we've taken a lot of different interests and continue to explore what does it mean in terms of our interest as artists. Yeah. And I think that like your choreographic practices come from a lot of different things, and how we make art through our practices is really important.
It's the decision of that all is somehow contained in this thing, rather than just we've made something static. The decisions, going back to what's the length of time of all of those kinds of thoughts that just went in. I think it's also really important to mention or talk about how we really are many traditions. So you talk about Bonnie's work, I talk about Susan Redhorst, and really ideas and principles. Simone Forti, other folks that are have added to the stream of information. So I think that we're all carrying it forward, and it's a new stream from us because we have all different kinds of backgrounds. Yeah. But I just want to emphasize that this is what this practice entails, is this ongoing sharing and forwarding of information from different points of view.
And picking up objects from everywhere.
Yeah.
And the place is also our interest is to be using the nature and the land, the buildings, as part of our research. Yeah. Like rather than we're just in an isolated studio. It's really this place and what it holds. Idea of like postmodernism. I would even say it's not even postmodern anymore. I don't know what we're doing, but it's not holding to the ideals of that. But there's something that's unknown about, well, what are we doing that we're exploring?
Yeah, until Saturday. Sunday afternoon until Saturday morning. Yeah.
Wow, it's beautiful.